Well, shop and restaurant owners in Eastbourne have told us they could go out of business before they get the chance to reopen because they're missing out on government money promised to small businesses to help them get through the lockdown. They're based in a shopping centre, so don't qualify for the emergency grants being given out by local councils. But the town's MP says she's making urgent inquiries on their behalf. Here's our political editor, Amanda Akaz.
It's so quiet, our footsteps echo on the polished floors. This is the tale of the Enterprise Shopping Centre in Eastbourne, but it's the story of many across the country. Normally bustling with shoppers, now it stands empty and times are getting desperate, especially as the businesses here aren't getting government grant support.
We thought, well, that sort of will cushion the blow, you know, that would sort of help. The longer this has gone on and we've found out that we possibly won't get that, it's just been like another kick in the teeth, really, you know. We've had it 20 years now, and, you know, me and my wife, who obviously owns it as well, we sort of talk about every day, will we ever be able to sort of come back to this?
Nicola has a haberdashery and runs sewing workshops.
It's frustrating. I was hugely excited to hear we were going to be supported by the government, and I think what they are doing is wonderful. I think when you look at other countries, on paper it looks fantastic. When you actually are a small business and you're not receiving that money, we need it sooner rather than later.
Over a month ago, the government announced they'd be paying out grants of £10,000 and £25,000 to help small businesses get through the lockdown. But they're only eligible for businesses who are already registered as claiming business rates relief. Those who don't pay their own rates directly because they're tenants of a larger shopping centre like this one, for example, are missing out. They are eligible to apply for the government's new microloan scheme, but many are fearful of getting saddled with long-term debts.
It wasn't intended, I'm certain, to exclude all our small businesses, and I'm sure we just need to find a way of being able to deliver those grants. And so we've got 35 businesses and they've all got their own customer base and it's their livelihood. So I can't put my head, I'm not a negative person, I can't imagine that we'll ever be closing. We've got to get this right.
The town's MP, Caroline Ansell, has raised the issue with the Minister for Small Business.
It is an anomaly that because of the way they are constituted, they haven't been able to apply for the grant scheme. And of course, really important that we safeguard their future as best we can. But we're looking across the piece at every avenue and looking to be as creative as we possibly can.
The Treasury say the grants are linked to business rates to allow funding to be issued as soon as possible, but other support is available.
Well, Amanda joins us now. And Amanda, it's not just in Eastbourne where people are claiming they're out of pocket. The leader of Maidstone Borough Council has written a strongly worded letter to the government about local authority finances.
Yes, so it's really quite a drastic warning from Councillor Martin Cox, who's basically asking for much more financial help from the government and saying otherwise their ability to try and deal with the pandemic will be put in severe jeopardy. He says they're already planning to spend £266,000 on measures to address the pandemic, which he points out is nearly 5 times the amount that they've received from the government as a grant so far. So this is covering things like extra support for the homeless, as well as delivering food and essential supplies to vulnerable people shielding at home. He also points out that even more damaging is the fact that they're expecting to lose £7.4 million in their income over the next year, and that's because it'll take them more time to collect council tax and business rates, and they're also not getting any income from things like leisure centres, which of course are all closed. Now, Maidstone Council are clearly really worried about all of this, and they're not